Blessings and shalom, everybody. It's Thursday night. It feels good out here tonight. I just when I get back home, I was sit on the porch for a little minute before it get cold. But I thank God. I just saw 7-7. I got it on my phone. My cash app. It says 7-7. God said that He's trying to tell His time is complete. Well, God said He's a completeness on everybody's mission. And a lot of us who have done what God had told us. So those children that have been obedient. It's time for God to bring forth the blessings. It's the time of Jubilee for us. So I know a lot of us, you can feel it in the spirit. You're anticipating, and it ain't just you. It's a lot of us. And we waiting on what God has for us for 2022. A lot of us He gave it in our spirit to prophesy it in the beginning of this year, even starting last year, until it manifests. That's where we waiting on the manifestation. And just like the manifestation of the sons of God, those ones that God is still working on, they're coming forth. They're going to be born again, and that's what we need. We need more born again people, and it's a different life because, people are not going to understand you. You'll be spiritual. You're not carnal. You're not worldly and fleshly. You are led by the Spirit. You are led every day what to do, what not to do. And that's why I was talking to somebody. I was talking to ministers to somebody not that long ago about, people. I love to mentor. I love to, counsel people. And, they think you got to have a license. God gave me that license and that wisdom to be able to do exactly what they teach you and give you paid money for to do. You got to go pay money in college. So I say I got to go to college to go get the credentials that they want. But I should have been did it because God, I'm good at what I do. And that person was like, yeah, because I've been drinking more, but when I talk to you, I feel better. I said, I know I did that life. I used to drink to try to, not worry about it. That's just something to pacify you. And I don't want to go drinking when God had already made me born again. I'm not going to go back to not worry about daily things in life. You have to deal with your problems, deal with your issues. And like I said, a lot of the wisdom it came from me having life experience, watching people, always being observant of everybody and things. And wisdom is priceless. And I don't neglect my wisdom. That's why when God lead me, I always speak a word on the YouTube, on the Facebook. That's called me planting seeds. And that's why I said it's time for a lot of our harvest, because a lot of us been planting seeds daily, and it got to have a multiplication. It got to have a restitution for what we have sown out, and that's what God He always surprises me, with a gift or something from somebody and let me know that they appreciate the time I spent, just the time, because time, you can't get it back. That's why at this hour, I'm only doing things that I know is going to be fruitful, because of not wasting a lot of time on something that's not going to be fruitful. I can't get it back. And not only that, that's your virtue. So I'm just real hesitant on who I minister to. God said if they don't receive you, wipe the dust off your feet and keep it moving. And that's how you'll find yourself doing with a lot of people. So don't worry about it. You just don't sweat that. Just go do it. It's a lot of people needing to know and see the God in you to be able to know that they have a chance. A lot of people need to see the God in you so they can be able to have a reason to live. That's why I was telling that person about that lady that killed herself and killed her husband. And I said, only if a person that was born again and saved would have talked to her. I said, I bet you if I would have had her on my page, she'll be still here, because I can tell when a person crying out. They can act like they're happy and smiling and all they want, but God and that discerning spirit going to tell me the recesses of that person's inner thoughts in their heart. You just have to be able to wade out what's not yours and what's theirs. So that's why I was training myself on. So a lot of time that stuff will project on you, and you'll know that's not your thoughts, because for one, I'm led by God's thoughts. I'm not led by no worry or fear, anxiety. I don't have that, because perfect love casts out all fear. So I don't fear nothing like that. And I'm just thankful that, it takes a person to be able to have trust in you to be able to open up, to pull that wall down. A lot of people got walls pulled up from their whole life. Sometimes, they have never been able to talk to nobody and trust nobody to know that they're not going to tell anybody about you know, what happened to them. And that's something confidential. It's just like when you go see a psychiatrist. It's no different. You have to keep that stuff to yourself. That's between you, them, and God. And then God will give you the wisdom of what they need to do to be able to get past that hurdle in their life or whatever obstacle they're dealing with. You know, it get hard out here, and that's why I keep my mind, you know, in peace. I keep myself in worship music, praise music. I get in the word when I can. And I don't have that. God took that from me, so I don't have that anxiety and that fear of nothing, what men gonna do and none of that stuff. I just do what God tells me to do. So I just want everybody to know and be encouraged that God sees everything. He got you. You have to put your trust in him. Don't put your trust in man, because man is just man. And a lot of people try to make you want to be perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. People make mistakes. That's why you make mistakes, to get it right. So I just hope everybody have a blessed night. Until next time, blessed Shalom, Angelic Chronicles.